Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Scandal after scandal. The Democrat Party at large, but as we're focused on right now, the Biden administration, was a complete fraud factory. Not just the presidency itself, considering the president wasn't actually the president, but rather just a puppet for the ruling Democrat elite class. Not just the facade that they put up, but the whole damn thing. This is the Democrat Party, folks. A fraud factory. You know, I like identifying patterns, and at this point, every major Democrat scandal follows the exact same pattern. Lies, cover-ups, and manipulation. We've seen it over and over again. They lied about the wildfires in LA, covered up their failures while families lost everything. They lied through elections, peddling hoaxes to rig the game in their favor. They lied throughout the pandemic, pushing fear-mongering and government overreach to control your life. Also, they could continue to expand government and again, their grasp on power. They lied about the economy, pretending that inflation was transitory while Americans were getting crushed. They fudged the job numbers to turn a recession into the greatest economy of all time and proof that Bidenomics was working. And now we've got another massive scandal, as we now have proof that the Biden administration has been cooking the books to cover up the worst border crisis in U.S. history that they caused. ICE officials just exposed tens of thousands of border crossings that were classified as arrests under the Biden administration. But in reality, these people were released into the interior of the country. In other words, they lied again and fudged the numbers in order to make it seem as if they were doing something and they were arresting all of these criminals, when in reality, they were releasing them in your cities. Let me show you guys exactly what's happening right now. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so just take a look at this.
Homeland Security officials are accusing the Biden administration of misleading the public on border numbers. So by counting migrants that were processed and released as ICE arrests.
Those senior leaders with DHS and ICE took time to speak to reporters, and they basically accused the Biden administration of what they're calling, quote, cooking the books and lying basically to the American public about how many illegal migrants they actually arrested. I want to show you what the acting ICE director here, Todd Lyons, had to say about this. He said, quote, ICE found tens of thousands of cases that were recorded as arrests when in fact the illegal aliens were simply processed and then released into American communities. The Biden administration reported more than 100,000 arrests in fiscal year 2024. But the senior leaders say the numbers are deceiving. That is because the majority of these arrests are what's called pass-through arrests, meaning they pass through ICE, then were just released into American communities pending those immigration hearings. The senior ICE officials say arrest numbers under the Trump administration do not include any pass-through arrests since them ending this catch-and-release policy. The senior officials say that they're fully enforcing immigration laws, unlike the last administration.
Well, think about this. The Biden administration used to deny that there was a crisis on the border, despite the fact we had record numbers of people crossing illegally. The Biden administration told us publicly that the border was secure, despite the fact we saw everybody coming over illegally. They didn't just cook the books, they cooked the whole library. That's what they did. Of course they're making stuff up to deceive the American people. They needed the numbers to back up the myth of the border is secure and there is no crisis. So it doesn't surprise anybody. But what a change. Donald Trump's line in his address to Congress about you didn't need a new law, you needed a new president, was 100% accurate.
It's just wild. They pretended that these people were being arrested and deported when in reality, they were being waved into the country. This is fraud. It's not just spin. It's not just creating a narrative that kind of distracts from what's really going on. No, this is cooking the books. This is a deliberate attempt to deceive. It's deception by the federal government to trick the people into thinking that the border was under control when it was actually an open floodgate. I guess they were trying to craft this fake reality, which would then justify the rhetoric.
There is no emergency at the border.
Do you continue to maintain that the border is secure?
Yes, and we are working day in and day out to enhance its security.
The border is both sovereign and secure.
The border is secure.
The border is secure. The border is secure. We're doing so much good police work on the border. Look at all the apprehensions and all the arrests. Meanwhile, a humanitarian crisis of epic proportion was actually happening. But the Democrats didn't care. They were busy fudging the numbers. They were busy touting the fact that they had seized the most amount of fentanyl ever recorded. As if that's a good thing. Oh, look, we're seizing all kinds of fentanyl. Give us a pat on the back. Yeah, I wonder why that is. Probably because the border is so open and porous that more fentanyl is passing through than ever before. Which is doing what? Ding, 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 you guessed it. killing over 100,000 Americans a year. Absolutely frickin' insane. Nothing but lies. Lie after lie after lie. Everything is a lie. And the most insulting part here is the Democrats ran on border security while lying and fudging the numbers the entire time. They had the audacity to go into the next election, going into 2024, claiming that they were the party of border control and blaming Trump for rejecting their pork-filled border bill, which we know for a fact was never going to stop anything, but rather enable everything. It was an amnesty bill. It was an expand the current fraudulent asylum claims bill. But they didn't care. They were more focused again on lying, deceiving, and manipulating. And we came full circle on that story because the moment Donald Trump was elected, what happened? The second he stepped into office, the crisis ended overnight. No multi-billion-dollar slush fund, disguised as productive border security, necessary. And now what do you think's happening? Well, the numbers are just staggering. Take a look at this.
It is one of the most dangerous, treacherous stretches of landscape to get to this country, the Darien Gap. Many people die along the trail there. There were 408 crossings through there last month. Now, there are ways to go around it, but can you even imagine? If we know that number of how many came through, how many didn't make it? That's a massive drop from August 2023. You ready for this? 82,000. If 408 still sounds like a lot because many of them are children who are being carried, we know that from the reporting that's gone on. 82,000? How many people died trying to get here? I mean, this is huge evidence against the Biden-Harris administration that they weren't just derelict in their duties, they were deadly dangerous.
Under Joe Biden's watch, the Darien Gap saw 40,000 border crossings in February of 2024, and in August of 2023, a record 82,000 illegals crossed at that border crossing zone alone. Well, now the number's 400. 400. From 82,000 to 400. And guess what? Donald Trump didn't have to fudge the frickin' numbers to get that result. This is the playbook, folks. The pattern is clear. Lie, deceive, distract, repeat. That's all we ever see with these Democrats. Just take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Lie after lie after lie. The Russia collusion hoax, a lie. The Ukraine impeachment hoax, a lie. The Fine People hoax, a lie. The kids in cages hoax, a lie. The Hunter Biden laptop Russian disinformation hoax, a lie. And that just scratches the surface. There's a clear pattern here, a pattern of behavior. They lie, deceive, and manipulate reality itself because they're so addicted to power. Because clearly they cannot win without deception. They cannot win without manipulation, and not just manipulating minds, but manipulating the system, changing laws before an election, opening the border, allowing mass illegal migration because they need to eventually create a path to citizenship or use birthright citizenship to secure their indefinite power. It's not about compassion. It's not about refugees. It's not about asylum seekers. It's about political power. That's why they lied. That's why they fought so hard to keep the border open, and that's why they cooked the books to cover up their disaster. That's why they tried endlessly to pretend as if it wasn't happening, to distract people, to pretend as if it was a Republican conspiracy theory. The border's been broken forever. What do you mean? It's not a unique thing to Joe Biden's administration, even though we saw nearly 300,000 illegal migrants cross in a single month at the peak. No, what do you mean? The border's secure. It's unbelievable. It's scam after scam after scam. The Democrat Party is built on a mountain of lies and deception, and that becomes clearer and clearer every single day. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.